Hey everybody, Brandon with FastDataScience.ai, and this is another episode of This Week in AI, the show where I bring you all the top headlines throughout the week in data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and I even use just a little bit, just a little bit, a pinch, if you will, of my own data science to help me organize all that different information that hits my inbox to help identify what are the most interesting, maybe the most relevant articles that I want to share with you this week. So let me just also say that I really like doing this show because I have learned so much more than before I did this show. Blah, 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 blah. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I actually now take the time to really look at and scrutinize all these different, really interesting articles related to the field that I am very passionate about. So let's go ahead and get after it because I am still checking out this new software. So I'm still on a trial version. So I still have a time limit. Okay, today is March 11th, 2022. And let's talk about what hit my inbox this week. Okay, we had 80 different articles. Those articles were organized into 4 different topic areas. Topic number 1, the smallest topic, meta AI. I know what you're thinking. No, no, not that meta. Okay, meta as in like, self-reflection. This is a category where AI kind of stares back at us. It's actually going to be one of the articles that I'll cover. Super interesting, really cool message. All right, topic number 2, AI applications. So how is AI being applied? We see that one come up a lot. Another really great kind of topic area and an article that I will share with you this week. Education. Education's always there, right? It's getting old. It's also always the biggest in terms of the buckets for all these different articles. We're going to ignore that one. And then number 4, winning with data science. I love this one. It's actually where we start today. Let's go ahead and jump into our first article of the week. Okay, it's winning with data science, but here's the headline. When bad things happen to good data scientists. Look, if you're a data scientist, this resonates with you. If you're an entrepreneur trying to build a data-driven business and you want to build in the fabric of data science throughout your core business, you have to understand some of these things. It's essential. Even though we as data scientists appear to be performing magical acts with data, we are not. We are still limited to lots of things present in that data that we have absolutely no control over. And so what this article tackles is some of those common issues that data scientists run into, and maybe even some ways to get out of them. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at why I care about this article. I care about this article because it really does point out that models that are trained are different than models in production, right? Same model, yeah, but different results. And that's what makes them different. That's what makes them a challenge. It's not often the same thing. And oftentimes what happens is that model doesn't perform nearly as well in a production context than it does in its nice, tight, little confined, isolated training environment. One great example of that the article points out is Zillow's iBuying product, which was apparently a product that was using some machine learning to try and help you identify good prices for homes, but it didn't perform very well in production. And unfortunately, the stock on Zillow went down by 30% after they dissolved that whole effort. So it has real consequences. Our models in production have real consequences. Were the models built wrong? Not necessarily. Data scientists are good at what they do. We use the tools that are best in class out there in the industry. Really what's happening under the covers is the meaning of data can change when it's live data. More importantly, training data can be biased in and of itself, right? Maybe there's something missing in that training data. And the article talks about some great examples like face detection, not being able to detect dark-skinned individuals. That's because the training set was all white people. That's not good. Effects, not causes, right? So models are inherently correlational. We are not able to discern cause and effect. We're not running experiments, but that's an often misnomer or misrepresentation. So sometimes the reasons for those correlations get lost, and when applied to production, well, they fail because some of those other things that are the true causes of those things that we're predicting have unintended consequences. Okay, Moral of the story, be nice to your data scientist. All right, what's up next? Oh, yeah, also the solution, machine learning operations. Learn to monitor model drift, distribution drift on data. Remember, if the distribution changes, the model should change. Fairness and proper testing. Okay, let's jump into the next article. Artificial intelligence, 3 strategies for advancing your career. Okay, 3 strategies for advancing your career. How can you apply your interest in artificial intelligence to a better, more successful career? Well, this article is fantastic because it really talks about some non-traditional approaches and some non-traditional kind of roles that are also starting to pop up in industry that really do allow us some more flexibility around how we can be artificial intelligence professionals without necessarily being artificial intelligence developers. There truly is a place for these folks. So why do I care about this article? Because I love that it talks about leadership in artificial intelligence, the importance of being a leader to spearhead AI adoption really cannot be understated. It is so important to have people who are evangelicals for artificial intelligence to help translate all the different ways a business can take advantage of it. Leveraging AI capabilities requires that functional leadership, not just the technical leadership. Understanding how AI embeds into all the different functions that happen in a business takes a skill set. And that skill set's something that's really important to learn, and it's a new opportunity that businesses are recognizing they really need some support and some skills for. And finally, thinking outside the box, you've got trainers, you've got explainers, and you've got sustainers. All of these individuals play an important role for helping to take advantage and leverage artificial intelligence within an organization. And all of these are not developers, right? You have to have a technical understanding. You have to be able to conceptually translate what's happening in the development context and what's happening in the non sort of technical context. And you got to understand how to bridge those two worlds together. So I love this article. A lot of great ideas in here on how to be a better AI leader for businesses and for your own career growth. These are some great skills to think about. Okay. All right. So the main point, the main message here, I forgot that I did these little pop-ups, that's right. So the main message though here is build credibility. Build credibility. Leadership is about being trustworthy and credible and having integrity. And the way that you can build credibility today, right now, even outside of any organization, is share your ideas. Blog, do conversational things, what do you think I'm doing? Okay, all right, let's move on. What caught my eye this week? All right, what caught my eye this week? This article really was super fascinating. I could probably spend the whole show on this, but I got 2 minutes. How we communicate what we value, even who we are. 8 surprising things that data science has revealed about us over the past decade. I love this. This is meta AI. This is AI looking back at us and teaching us things that maybe we didn't realize. What are those things? Why do I care about this? It is a window into humanity and change. And data science and artificial intelligence is providing that window for us in ways we never thought possible before. Some of the really cool findings in this article that it talks about are the idea, for example, that our memories for the past are getting less and less patient. I'll show you a graph in a second to explain what I mean there. But really, we are getting less interested in the past and a lot more interested in just what's happening here and now. And that might resonate with us, but we didn't know that. We didn't actually really understand and appreciate that until this research was done. And I'll show you a graph, like I said. Biodiversity correlates with language diversity. Well, that's really interesting. That's something that this article taught me. Personalities are more predictable and less unique than we thought. Yeah, it turns out you can cluster people into broad categories of personalities. And are we in a post-theory scientific world where we don't need theories anymore? We use data. It's a bad idea. The article really touches on why it's a bad idea. But let me share a couple of graphs with you before I wrap the show up. All right, this graph here is showing us that our memories for things, our patience for the history of things is getting shorter. All right, you see that blue line? This research was done by looking at all these articles that were published. All right, and I'm about to die here. I'm about to be done, okay, because my thing's going to cut me off. But read this article. It's super fantastic. This is biodiversity and language, and here are the links.